Hi guys! So I've come back on to do a video about getting to know me in 20 questions. I'm hoping it's not going to be too long, and I've explained already on my Instagram of why I'm doing a get to know me in 20 questions. The reason for this, just in case you don't follow me on Instagram, is because when I was growing up, and even now I find myself saying this, when my kids ask me a lot of questions, I'll say, oh my goodness, it's like 20 questions. And I used to have the same thing said to me growing up. So I'm doing a get to know me in 20 questions. A lot of the questions are health related. I apologize, but I will try and give you in depth a little bit more about me throughout the questions. So I'm not going to try and drag it on too long. So first question was because I noticed in all of my videos, I'm like, hi guys, I'm doing a video. And I've not actually told you who I am or what my name is. So all you guys know me as is my life with chronic illnesses. And obviously that is not my name. So the first question on the list was, what is my name? So I was born as Jean, spelled with a J. So it's spelled Jean. And when I was very little, I changed it to Jean E rather than just Jean. So so now I go by the name of Jeannie and not Jean. I also have been called Jay in the past, and obviously for somebody who's called Jeannie, even though it's not spelled the same as Genie of the Lamp or Genie of the Bottle or anything like that, I did get called them names when I was older. So, sorry, when I was younger, not older. Gosh, my head is messed up. And I was obviously in high school when Christina Aguilera also came out with Genie in a Bottle. So I got a lot of stick in school. But yeah, so that's my name. And I have 3 children, Amy, Molly, and Thomas. You've already met Molly on a video previously. I have been married. I use my married name, not my maiden name, just because the kids have my ex-husband's name, and it just makes things so much simpler and easier. But when it comes to social media, I don't really use my marriage name because my favorite color is indigo. So yeah, but that's not one of the questions. So what have I been diagnosed with? Well, I have been diagnosed with ehlers, danlos, SVT, gastroparesis, dysmotility disorder, dysautonomia issues, query POTS, query LQT syndrome, long QT syndrome, sorry. If in case people didn't know that, LPR, which if you watch my other videos, you'll know what LPR is, GORD, IBS, asthma, and a mediastinal mass growth. I think that's it. TMJD as well, I have. Brain fog hits really hard. I keep saying March instead of May. Speaking of May, Happy EDS Awareness Month, and also Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month too. So if you suffer with either of them, I hope you're doing okay and it's being a good month to you. Okay. What type of EDS do I have? I have EDS hypermobility type. I'm querying classical because of the fact that I show signs of classical, but my rheumatologist who diagnosed me was unable to diagnose me with classical because classical has to be done by genetics. Which brings me on to my next question of, do my children have it? They show signs of it, but my general practitioner or our family doctor definitely thinks that they have it. But obviously, in order to know this for sure, we'd have to go to genetics. And right now, with lockdown and COVID-19, we cannot see genetics at all. But hopefully, we'll get done in the next 12 to 18 months. And we'll find out for sure. So watch this space. If there was one illness I could change, what would it be? I'd probably say between gastro, which is my worst one, and my heart issue, which is my other worst issues, and dislocations. I could just say EDS, because without the EDS, I wouldn't have a lot of the other problems. But actually, probably the most one that I would get rid of would be my heart issue, because it's the one that causes me the most anxiety, because there's no warning sign for that. It can just flick from being fine to over 300 beats a minute. So I'd probably get rid of that one. When did I get my diagnoses? Depending on which illness you're actually asking about, I've been diagnosed with various things throughout my life, but my main diagnosis of ehlers danlos was done just after the new criteria came out, which was in 2017, I believe. So yeah, only a couple of years ago. So I'm a newbie, which is why I've started vlogging, and I'm a newbie to this too. So what's the next question? I'm not going in order, so I'm just messed around. What aids do me or my family use for our health issues? So I use a lot of splints and crutches and walking sticks, not all together obviously, because you can't hold more than a few sticks. And I'm hoping to get a wheelchair at some point, because it'll make getting to appointments so much easier and quicker for me. And it'll obviously take the strain off my joints and my heart issue. My son uses a wheelchair for his nephrotic syndrome and his joint issues, although he can walk. It was diagnosed, well, he was told that he needed to have a wheelchair from the orthopedic doctors, and I wasn't going to argue with them. So he's now got a wheelchair. So we only use it for practical things like going to and from school, going out on days out, keeping him safe, days out with the family, just to, keep him from being too tired and safe. We can't really do a lot of days out when it comes to family days out, not just because of lockdown now, but because obviously I have problems with my pain management and health issues as well, so it comes out harder now. Why have I not seen genetics? Well, I haven't seen genetics. I did try and see genetics due to the fact that I had signs of classical when I first got diagnosed, but due to the new criteria coming out, they decided they were only seeing people with the most severe types of EDS. So I just left it. And now that more and more symptoms of classical are coming about, I've decided to go, and because obviously the kids are showing more signs and stuff, I'm deciding to go and see genetics, to see a private doctor at some point. How bad are my gastro flares? Really, 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 really bad. They are so bad. For the last 2 weeks in particular, I've had no voice because they've been so bad. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say 10 totally. How many joints do I dislocate or sublux daily? Well, I wake up with them sometimes as well, so I'd say minimum of about 10. Who are my inspirational YouTubers for ehlers danlos? That would be Izzy Kornblau, Life with Stripes, Chronically Ames, Georgina, can never remember her last name, but if she's watching, she'll know who she is, and My Asterix Life. What would I be doing if me or my family didn't have chronic illnesses? Well, we would have a worry-free life when it comes to health, and I would probably go back to nursing, but can't do any of that now. So if I think and dwell on it too much, I get sad. So how did I feel when I got diagnosed? I felt somewhat relieved, I guess, because I actually had a reason to feel the way that I was feeling. So there was relief there. And I guess there was a little bit of complacement, because I wasn't sure on what my future held. I guess the one condition that I actually felt less happy about was obviously the mass that's growing in my chest. And I'm still not happy about that either. I'll have relief or like some sort of closure on that, because obviously I don't have a diagnosis or a plan of action of what they're doing about it. So hopefully I'll feel differently once that comes into place. But if not, and it's something really bad that's just going to make my life more upsetting and sad, then I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. Would I have had my children if I'd have known I had EDS when I was younger? Yes, I probably would have still had them. For those that don't know, people with ehlers danlos have a higher risk of passing it on to their children, and the children having a worse case than them. I recently only found this out, so because obviously I've only recently been diagnosed. So I probably still would have had at least a child of my own. But I love my children to pieces and I wouldn't change them for the world. So yeah, I guess I probably would have still had children, but probably not as many. But I still love them to pieces. You know, they're kids. Why do I do my YouTube channels? We're on question 15. I've got through these really quickly. I'm sorry, but I want this video to be quick and short rather than too long. So why do I do my YouTube videos? Well, I do my YouTube videos because I want to spread awareness, give hope to people so that they don't feel that they're alone. I know that before I started looking on YouTube for research on EDS and stuff like that, and before I found Life with Stripes, because she was the first person that I actually found videos with when it comes to ehlers danlos, and I was so inspired and so bowled over by how positive she was. So Mickey, if you're watching, thank you very much for sharing your stories and doing your blogs. But, you know, I was just wanting to do the same, I guess, and just spread hope, make people feel like they were less alone, make me feel like I was less alone, me feel like I wanted to turn my chronic health issues into a positive thing rather than sit and dwell on the negatives all the time. So yeah, that's why I do my YouTube videos, to spread hope and joy to others and awareness more than anything. So next question was, what would I say to others who think they have ehlers danlos? I would say, don't suffer alone. Don't suffer in pain. If you think you have any type of illness, whether it be ehlers danlos or anything else, don't sit and worry about it. Just go and speak to your family doctor, and hopefully they will refer you to somebody that knows about that particular condition. And then maybe you could see genetics, and if you have got it or there's a likelihood that you have it, you can see genetics and see exactly what type you have. But I know that seeing genetics is extremely difficult because you have to have a really good reason to see them. So what symptoms of EDS did I have before my diagnosis? I had a lot of pain. My hips, my shoulder, my knees, my ankles, they were all causing me bother. They were slipping out of joint, even if it was just partially, and I was always in pain. So pain being the most symptomatic problem I had. What did I do when I got diagnosed? What did I do to get diagnosed? So when I got diagnosed with ehlers danlos, I had a lot of pain, like I've just said. I had to have a routine blood test, and during that blood test, they checked my rheumatoid factor, which is a specific test that they do to check for arthritis. Now they knew that arthritis run in my family as well as flexibility, so they checked that and it was slightly elevated. So they decided then to send me to a rheumatologist who then basically saw how I was walking, decided to ask me a few questions that at the time, I only knew about my health issues and about what was going on in my family, because I am adopted and I knew very little about my family history at the time. So he gave me a full exam. He checked scars. He checked everything. He said, you do show signs of classical type, but I'm a rheumatologist. I can't diagnose you with classical type. However, you do have a Baton score of 9/9. So I'm going to say that you have hypermobility ehlers danlos. And he asked me, had I heard of it? And I said, yeah, because I knew somebody that had it. And that's how I got diagnosed. And just because my rheumatoid factor was up. But I don't have any arthritis at all. I have slight beginnings of arthritis in my left jaw, which leads me to my next question, which is what operations or procedures have I had for my illnesses? So I've had arthrocentesis for my jaw. I've had my gallbladder removed. I've had my appendix removed because of pain and gastro issues. They basically removed them. I've had a cardiac ablation. I've had a uterine ablation. And I've had tests-wise, I've had sigmoidoscopy, cystoscopy, endoscopy, pharyngoscope, barium swallow. What else have I had? X-rays, MRIs, echocardiographs, ECGs, peak flows. What else have I had? I think that's it. Blood tests, obviously. And I've also had, I'm also awaiting to have a manometry test, a pH study, a breath test, and a gastric emptying scan. So yeah, they're the things I'm awaiting. I'm also awaiting to query POTS, because obviously I have a lot of other dysautonomia issues. So I'm querying POTS with my cardiologist when I see them next. I'm also querying long QT syndrome, because that showed up on my last ECG as well. And obviously, finding out whether this growth in my chest is causing my heart issue to flare more. So last question, how many medications do I take daily for my issues? I take roughly on average between 16 and 18 tablets a day. So I take, and 2 inhalers. So I take 2 puffs of a preventer inhaler every morning and every evening. I take 1, 2, 3, 8, 10, 12. I take 12 pain medications. I also take, it used to be 4 gastro medications, but now I'm taking 3 because one of them, they transferred from just being 2 tablets a day to just having 1 tablet a day, but the dosage stays the same. So I now take 3 tablets of gastro medication. I also take 3 anxiety meds. I take 2 every day, and I take 1 3 times a week as well. But obviously they both act as well. One acts as a pain management, and the other one acts as a nerve pain management. So I'm basically looking after every pain in my body, when it comes from muscular, skeletal, or nerve pain. I have the bases covered. I also have, I also get symptoms of low blood sugar. So I now check my blood sugars because I can only eat one meal a day, if that, and I don't drink a lot. And I also suffer with a prolapsed bladder as well. I have many issues when it comes to UTIs and everything. So my hair's really thin now because of the fact that I cannot get the right nutrition into me. And I cannot drink a lot because of my dysmotility issues, because it's very slow. And my delayed gastric emptying is extremely slow. So I'm awaiting to have a gastric emptying scan because they said that I had mild gastric emptying when it came to just drinking liquid, like a barium liquid. So food wise, it takes a lot longer. So yeah, they're pretty much what all medications I take, pretty much all the studies I have done. I've got another scan coming up at the end of June, so I might be able to figure out what they're going to do about this mass in my chest. But apart from that, we're all doing okay. But yeah, I hope you're all staying safe and looking out for each other and not going too stir crazy. I don't know if anybody else wants to do the tag. I might tag if you want to. You can tag a video and do the same and let people get to know you as a person in 20 questions. I hope this has helped people get to know me a little bit in 20 questions. Like I said, I've given you my name. My age is 37. I have 3 children. I'm now divorced. So, yeah. I suffer with chronic health issues. Many of them. And I deal with chronic illness every day. I've dealt with chronic illness with me, with my son, with my daughter, even my brother has eosinophilic esophagitis. So we all look out for each other in our family, and we're all there for each other too. So I hope everyone's staying safe and you guys are there for each other too, if you're in a family or if you're flatmates or whatever. But yeah, stay safe. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will be back on again soon. I will try and give you a bit more detail with SVT. I know I'm still waiting to do my nephrotic syndrome video, but I've not had a voice for 2 weeks, so I've not been able to come on this quickly. And I've been having a lot of gastro flares, so hopefully I'll be on soon again. I'm sorry it's taking me so long to do more videos. If you've got any suggestions of what else you would like to see me do or talk about, then please message me below, or you can Instagram me and by DMing me. And yeah, have fun, enjoy the sunshine no matter where you are, and I hope to see you again soon. Thumbs up, please subscribe. Thanks, bye.